don't even possess most of the things we used to possess, and the enemy is still after us. So now we're trying to figure out what it is that he wants now after all of this that I've already been through. What is it that the devil is still chasing me for now? May I submit to you tonight that your anointing attracts attacks from the enemy. The devil comes after anybody that has an assignment from God and that is anointed of God to move in this next movement that is coming up. There is a shift from God that is underway, and the faithful are about to be favored. The fickle are about to be faded out, because God is getting ready to put some people in place who have potential to do what he's been waiting on you to do. There are some of us that have been sitting and saying, Lord, more than the money, more than the car, more than the house, more than the spouse, what I want is just to be used of God. Is there anybody here that can say, Lord, more than anything else, what I really want is just to be used by you? I need something from you. I want to find my destiny in this hour. I am looking for the place that you have positioned for me to come into. And so in our text tonight in the book of John, we find in the 2nd chapter that Jesus and his mother and the disciples are going to the wedding at Canaan. And while there, the Bible declares something that I find specific, and it says these words, that it was the 3rd day. Tell your neighbor you're living in your 3rd day. No, I need you to talk to her and say, neighbor, you're living in your 3rd day. You're living in your 3rd day, which is indicative of your resurrection. I don't know what you went through in 2012, but you're about to experience one of the greatest resurrections in your entire life. The worst thing that the devil could have done was let you cross over to this moment that you are in now. And the fact that you are here means that God's not through with you yet. Regardless of what it looks like, God could not be done with somebody like you. Even when you felt like giving in and throwing in the towel, and like you were having a nervous breakdown, God is not through with you yet. It says that Jesus and the disciples were there at the wedding of Canaan, and his mother comes to him and said, look at Jesus, they done run out of wine and we got to do something. He says to her, woman, my time has not yet come. But she does not take the rebuke personal. She takes it purposeful. What she does is she looks at it and says, something's got to come from this. I understand that when the moment that we are in, living in Chronos, that maybe it's not your time, but my obedience will make it my season, even when it wasn't my turn. If I stand here long enough and say something to you and worship you at the point when I should back up, you're going to do something, because it's impossible for you to have me stand here and you not make a move in my life. Do me one favor and lean over and tell somebody, if you just stay there long enough, if you just stay there long enough, he's going to say something to you. His mother says to everybody else after she turns from him, she opens her mouth and says to them, this is the remedy. All you've got to do in this season is whatever he tells you to do. Don't listen to people who are going off of the word and away from it. He says, now if you're going to get anything done, you're going to have to obey him. He says, now if you just do what he says, he'll do what he says. All you got to do is obey God now, and it's going to work. The Bible declares that there are 6 water pots that are sitting by the door. After the manner of purification, Jesus opens his mouth and says to them, fill the water pots with water. All I want you to do is go over there by the door. I don't want to use the wine vats because they didn't have what it took to last. I don't want to use what was on the table. Something has got to switch. There has to be a turn somewhere. She says to him, now here is what I need. I want y'all to pick the water pot up and bring the water pot here. I need to talk to you about the water pot, because tonight you're not the wine vat, you're the water pot. 6 is the number of man. So here we see that there's 6 water pots by the door. And so now when Jesus is saying to them, pick the water pot up from the door, here is the purpose for the water pot. When anybody would come from their journey, what they would do is they would wash their hands and their feet in the water pot. They would put the dirt from their travels into the pot and wash the dirt off of themselves. Even the silverware was washed in the water pot. So I need to talk to the folk that are next. The people that are next, you are not perfect. You've got a little bit of dirt on you. Everybody else in the world is looking at you like you might have messed up. But tell your neighbor, I might have a little dirt on me, but after a while you'll see his hand on me. I know they tried to give you a Twitter assassination and tried to annihilate you on Facebook, but it ain't going to work. His hand is on me. Lean over, tell somebody his hand is really on me. So now the Bible declares that Jesus tells them, fill it to the brim. I need to tell all of y'all something here tonight, that the Lord has filled you to the brim. When you were feeling empty when we crossed over, you're about to see something different. Look at somebody around you and tell them, your neighbor, you're about to see something different out of me, because he's about to move me from here to there. I need to pause for a moment just to explain something. All of the other miracles I read, here is the only miracle where I don't see Jesus praying and asking anything. All he does is said, bring the water pot from here to there. Just tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, he's about to move you from a place called here to another place called there. Your maturity is going to take place somewhere between here and there. Yeah. Look at somebody else now and tell them, say, neighbor, God's about to shift you to the best days of your life. Tell them, say, neighbor, God's about to move you from where you were. He's not going to change your name, but he is going to change your position. You used to be a water pot, but now you're holding the wine. You used to be subject to the foolery of men, but now he's about to shift you to the best days of your life. I know how much you've been through, how hard it's been, and how long you've been waiting, but let me submit it to you tonight. The affliction of the righteous, but the Lord shall deliver them out of them all. I was young, now I'm older. Never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Tell somebody around you, it's got to be my turn. He saved me until now. It's got to be me. I'm getting ready to be elevated right in the face of the enemy. I cried enough tears. I've been through enough hell. We've been made into a night. Joy is coming in the morning. Touch somebody else. Tell them, say, neighbor, it's got to be your turn. I might as well close it like I'm at home. Tell somebody else, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and ears haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and ears haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and ears haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and haven't seen, ears haven't heard, ears haven't seen, ears haven't heard. Grab your neighbor's hand. Tell them, say, neighbor, it's got to be your turn. It's got to be your time. Ask them, say, neighbor, I'm not really sure if you're Baptist or you're Pentecostal or not, but tell them, say, hey, let's have testimony service. You want to partner with us while we're in it now? Tell them, say, neighbor, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, my soul crying out, hallelujah. Always not looking at me, Baptist. Look at somebody. Tell them, say, neighbor,